Hi, I'm Julie Torrens. So we're going to be working in the Acrylic Journal, and here is my inspiration. Love the colors, and it was just, I was tidying up some scraps, and what this is I'm going to be making ephemera out of this. But when I was just laying there on the floor, it just sort of looked like tall, skinny buildings, like weird windows and stuff. And I thought, that's what I want to paint. Now, if you know me, I love cityscapes. I love old Victorian houses type paintings. And I'm not talking about photorealism at all. Whimsical house. So I did gesso, and this is this is Diane Reevely, and it is the dialogue. It is a traveler's journal, and we can talk about that more later. Let's get some color going. I'm going to start out with a blue, just to give it just a hint of a sky. Now this is De La Rowney light blue. I am in what I call my bargain bowl. Here, I'll show you. This is the bargain bowl. And I just took a bunch of paints out in bright, happy colors. I even pulled a black and a white out of there. I'm just using my bargain bowl paints. So I want to get started. I think I may let me grab a piece of wax paper. Just because if I can avoid gluing my journal shut, that is my main worry. Now, what is going on here? I must have skipped a page. We did this last time. So let's get this in here and get another one. I'm reaching. Okay. There we go. Yeah, and then we'll have a flip through now. My very last video, I had been working on a journal covers. Well, that was 24 hours ago. They're not dry. Taking one of my acrylic brushes, I keep my acrylic brushes separate from my watercolor brushes. I want more white, I think, than blue. So I'm just going to add a touch of this blue. It's very strong. And I think that looks like a whimsical color. And let's just get a sky color. This brush is too soft. Too soft. See if I can just make it work for this. Sometimes these brushes weren't working for watercolor, so I threw them in this tin, and then I'll give them a chance. They may have come in a kit. They may, who knows? No telling. But if they don't then work for acrylic, if they're already in the acrylic tin, then that means they're either always been for acrylic, or I thought it might be for watercolor, but that didn't work. Okay. Now I like that. And yes, I want buildings to be pretty high up on this thing. So what's going on in your neighborhood? What is today? I think, maybe it's the 15th. I don't know. But middle of November, I know that. And it's a Tuesday, my day off. And we've got snow. Now, I would say on my patio or my balcony, there's about 3 inches. But when you look at the grass areas, there, you can see snow. When you look on the driveways and the streets, no, it's not sticking. But it started to stick on the sidewalks. So they already put some salt out there. Okay, I'm going to add some white just to streak in some little cloud formation type things. Maybe bring this down a little bit. I'd rather have it too low than not low enough. And the fact that it's getting darker as I go down, that's good. Now this may all be covered up. I don't know. We'll see. And let's give him a little swirl going on there. Really though, perspective-wise, you go from light to dark. Oh wait, you go from dark to light. So darkest at the top, lighter at the bottom. But I'm just trying to get, like I said, just something that speaks sky. Okay. And not necessarily a snowy sky. It's very pretty though. And it's just snowing, lazy snowflakes. Okay. I'm not going to throw that brush away. It's just not my favorite. Not very even on that sky, but that's okay too. All right. Now, what I want to do is just have one slim row of kind of in the background and then a little bit like bright colors in the front. So we're just barely going to see the little background one. So I've grabbed the black and I'm going to add literally just a drop there. I mean, I just touched the paint to it. And I'm going to also use the blue. I'm not using this flippity floppity brush, that's for sure. Let's see. Let's get a square brush. I like a square brush. This one's a little big, but that's okay. All right. I'm going to add some of that blue to this, but that black, it's going to show. Okay, not as much as I thought it would, but that's all right. I'd rather add more. You can't take it away. Let's just add a little smidgen more. Oh, that's way too much, but that's okay. That's okay. See if I can just catch a little bit. Good. This is a good gray. I'm going to just scoop up the rest of this. Yeah, this is a fine gray. Okay, so I'm pretty much just gonna go with kind of a roof line, not too much detail, but I'm just picturing like the houses. I think they're called like row houses. They're long and skinny. And they're in cities, and they're just butted right up against each other. Does any of that sound familiar? I'm gonna put one here. And give it a different kind of a roof line. Maybe just two. Yep. So we've got this snow here. Went to the dentist. And this is really the first measurable or significant snow we've had, which usually a lot of people cancel appointments. So I went to see if I could get a haircut because I need that. And I thought, well, I bet people canceled their appointments because of the snow. Oh, no. They were full, but that's fine. I just had to make an appointment for in the future, which is fine with me. I'm just going to put another little building in here, and maybe another one right here. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna kind of put a bottom edge here. Picked up some of the blue, which is fine. Okay. They're wonkety, that's for sure, and that's fine. I'm just rinsing out that big old brush. We'll use it again. I'm going to get this weird long-handled brush of mine. But I tell you, I love the size of it. I'm gonna add just a touch of water. I'm just going into that same gray, and I'm just gonna square these off a smidgen. I don't mind if things, aren't real plumb and square, but I don't want it to just look sloppy. There's a difference, and you can tell. So I'm just going in both of these little gray colors that I made. That's fine. And get a little bit in that seam. And sometimes when you have steam or a haze, that will make the buildings look a little foggy. So again, I'm not going too nuts in my mind about wanting these kind of squared up, but I just don't want them to look sloppy. I don't like that look. Okay. All right, so there's our back behind buildings. And later we may add a window or two in there, but it's not going to have much. Now I want to start, and I'm going to leave, I don't know, maybe a 1/2 inch to an inch at the bottom where we'll kind of have a sidewalk. So, and then it's going to be doors and just buildings. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a blue. Now, I think I tried using these before, these Soho paints. They're like a store brand. I think it's from Jerry's Artorama, but it seems like I tried to use it once and they weren't so great, or I don't know, maybe my project just wasn't great. I didn't throw them away, although I practically never throw anything away. But let's just start with a blue building. Just loading up my brush here. I think I'll start on this side, and then my arm won't be. I'll start like this. And then I'm going to switch to the bigger brush, but I just wanted to get that starting edge. I'm just going to finish up the paint in my brush. More in there than I thought. I know that these paints came with an order, and I want to say it was like a little box of 4 of them. I'm just going to keep using this brush. And I think it was like a sample, or I don't know, a thank you or something. But really haven't taken the time to play with them too much till now. Like I said, I did put a coat of white gesso on this because I didn't want the acrylics to just sink straight in. And this journal is made with a very heavy duty, I want to call it special because it is special. I've never used a cardstock like it. Oh, I'm supposed to leave room for a sidewalk. Well, that's all right. That sidewalk will be fine. Okay. Building 1. I'm going to see if I can tidy up this just a bit because it was a little bit wider at the top than at the bottom, I think. So you want to hear something funny? This morning when I woke up, I just took my phone and wanted to see what the weather was, and it said 1 to 2 feet of snow, and I thought, what in the world? Haven't heard anything about this. What's going on? Well, then, I look at the news, and it's 1 to it's like not 1 to 2, but maybe 2 to 3 inches is what they were saying. And I thought, well, what is going on? So I looked at it again. That was between now, which today is Tuesday, through Sunday. Oh, well, what good is that to any of us? But yeah, now this is yellow. It may be too transparent. I don't know. If it is, I'll just add some white. But I think I'm going to put a yellow building right here. And remember the sidewalk. Yeah, so I had a little wake-up call there this morning. It woke me up, that's for sure. 1 to 2 feet. I've only lived here a year. This is my second winter here. Never did they talk about that much snow. Never. Not all in one time. Oh, Julie. Okay, so you can see how transparent that is. I have two choices. I could make that into part of the roof line, or I could try to see if I can blot it out so that we don't have that. Okay, so I'm going to just add a little white. I'm not even going to necessarily put it on my, I'm just going to get a little bit on my brush. Not put it on my palette. Just put a little bit on the brush and see. What does that do? Improvement. Yep. Kind of. Not really. All right. Well, for right now, we're going to leave it. I do want to, again, just make the edge not too crazy. And again, these are whimsical, and I'm telling myself as much as I'm telling you. I'm not creating a real skyline of any kind. Okay. All right. We got a yellow. We got a blue. How about a reddish? Will that look too much just like primary colors? Maybe a magenta. I've got magenta. Let's give it a go. Fanciful, fun buildings. I think I'm going to make this building even longer than the others. I don't know how. Does this say transparent or not? Magenta, magenta, magenta. That's written 4 times. Soft body. Yeah, nope, doesn't say. That's okay. Let's just see what we get. And I'm going to put, I think, a real skinny one right here. Okay. Good. And maybe this skinny one has a little annex right there. Just like that. Okay. That's good. I want to use some more of this pink. Let's just keep going. All right. I'm feeling like a green. I've got this, and it's called green. So let's get just a little dab of this green. I'm going to use that same square brush. A little bit taller again. Boy, I've picked the most transparent colors. That's okay. Go down again. Brush strokey, huh? And I do, whoa, that went a little wild. I do want it up against the yellow. Okay. May put another coat on some of these, probably will. Now this looks like it's leaning this way to me. That looks better to me. Okay. Good. Colorful. I like it. I love it. I love that it's colorful. Okay. Well, I'm looking over the paint situation here. And I have another green. Just kind of a plain old leafy green. I'm going to go ahead and put it right up next to the other green and see what that does. And this one can be a little behind the blue and the pink. Yeah, so I made those 2 journal covers and they're still wet. So they need to dry more. And then I can cut them because they're too big. I mean, I made them too big on purpose. So I'm concentrating. Cut them to size. And then I may start getting some of the papers together, and then I'll show you what I've got together. Okay. That looks good, and I like the color combination. I wonder if I can make an orange. I know I don't have an orange in that tub. Oh, but you know what I do have? I think I have kind of a Tuscan red. Let's pull that. It's called crimson, but I think it's, and maybe it'll just be rose red. I don't know, but let's just see, because if I remember right, it just seemed like it was a very warm red, almost like a brick red. And get a building over here. I can hear ducks, but I can't see them. But the snow doesn't bother them. They go in the water. They call it a lake. It's a pond that I live on. It's beautiful, though. It's good size. And we have geese and ducks. And I can hear ducks. Like I said, I'm looking right over the lake. I don't see them. But they could be right on the roof of my building. I have no idea. Okay, like that. One more building. I have a different kind of a blue, kind of a tealy blue. And maybe that would be good for this last building in the middle. Let's see. See this color. It's called light blue. Oh, I have some on my palette because that's what I used in the sky. Oh, well, let's try. Let's try. I can always cover it up. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Scrape, 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 scrape. Okay. I'm not at a good visual angle to see how I'm doing in that seam. Get your art journal out. If you don't want to paint with me, draw with me. Get your markers out. Get some colored pencils out. Do something. It'll be fun. You'll be glad that you tried. Okay, now some of these I'm going to put another roof line on them, but I just wanted to get the basic shapes on here. And I think what I'm going to do is some of these that are just so transparent, like that magenta, I am going to go ahead. I need to pull this paper towel out from underneath. It's getting pretty wet. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get that magenta out again. And get another coat of that, because that really looks thin to me. Like I had it watered down and I didn't. We'll see if this helps. Well, I think it definitely helps. I picked up a little bit of the green. That's fine. Okay. I like that. I think the green is fine. I think the navy blue is fine. I think this blue is fine. This yellow and green. Not sure if I am going to be able to do anything about it or not, but we'll give it a try. Okay, that green was this one. This is a Heidi Swap paint. I had that right there. Maybe because the sky is, grayish white, heavy cloud cover because of, how it is when it snows. Maybe you don't know, but yeah. Heavy clouds, low ceiling. And then the snow is everywhere, so it's white. So maybe it just made my heart say, I want some more color. I do like color. Honestly, I think if left to my own devices, I would dress like a clown all the time. Or like those tropical tourists with their bright flower shirts and socks with their sandals. Yeah, that'd be me. Yeah, drinking out of a coconut. Not that I want tropical weather. I like the winter. I really do. I'm not nuts about driving in it, but I like it. But I'm just saying the color. I like the colors of those tropical places. I'm going to grab another paper towel because that one is just had it. And there's just no sense in fighting with it. And there we go. All right, yellow. I still have some on the palette. And let's see if we can convince it to It's really only up here that you notice. I'm going to see. There wasn't very much on the palette. I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit on my brush here. Okay, that looks good to me. All right, good. Okay, next up, little bit of roof lines. I'll show you what I mean. So, okay, now we know that that magenta, if I'm going to want to use that as a part of a roof line, I'm going to have to beef it up with some white. I'm going to go into this kind of a Tuscan red color. I think it's called crimson, right? And let's just put some of that on here. Yep, just like that. I like that. And then maybe same color, and we'll make a doorway here. Now we don't see it too much. That's okay. Okay. All right. Now, not every building has to have something on its roof, but a couple things. All right. Maybe on this green one, I'll go into this blue. Give it a roof line. Too much water. Need to dry it. I'm getting a puddle. There we go. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, dear. The ducks quit, so whatever was getting their feathers in a twist, they seem to recovered. Okay, we've got that roof. We've got the red roof. Dry the brush good. Okay, we know, like I said, that magenta is awfully transparent. I'm going to add some white right in its space. This is that weird paint. It's kind of, but it's called gel, so I don't know why I'm saying it's weird, because it is what it says it is, so I should just stop. But let's put this white in here. Yeah, okay. And maybe we'll put this right here. Now that blue is still wet. We know that. Plenty wet. Running down my brush wet. And then maybe I'll go ahead and give this a pink door. Okay. I like that. I think what I'll also give it is a pink windowsill, and then maybe pink windowsills all the way up. You know, just like you typically see. Said no one ever. Oh boy, that got too close together. That's okay. One more. Like that. And then maybe on this side, there could be some circle windows. Think you're going to try to paint some whimsical buildings? It's fun. Tell you right now, it's a lot of fun. Looking out on the snow, visiting with you. It's a nice day off. And one more. Yep. Okay, so those are like the window trim, but we'll be putting in some more windows. Okay. Now, what next? This is where you need more windows, more detail. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to try to look, I'm looking at which ones seem to be the driest, and I'm going to start working on those. So I'm going to go ahead and get some white on my palette. I'm going to unscrew the whole top. This comes off better that way. Let's just get some white right in the middle of this palette. It looks like cottage cheese, I know, but it is called Acrylic Soft Gel Paint, and it says it's opaque. Create backgrounds or paint designs on paper crafting, journals, mixed media. There you go. See? Does everything. Does everything. Okay. So starting with some white windows, and I'm just getting some white, loading some white paint on that green brush of mine. And let's start with some windows. And I realize it's not as opaque as other white paints you might buy, but the windows would be reflecting what's around them, including the blue of the building, so it's okay with me. And again, I know I'm going whimsy, but there has to be at least a little bit of some kind of a order. I'm getting like little cottage cheese bumps in the windows. One more. And then we'll put a bigger window here. And then get some more windows. Is this starting to look like kind of a city-ish sort of a thing? I hope so. So today is Tuesday. Thursday is not Thanksgiving in the US. It's the next Thursday. But Christmas is alive and well in the store. I went to the grocery store today. I'm not trying to start a panic or anything. Just telling you a fact. I went to Aldi. Love Aldi. And Aldi is like Lidl if you have Lidl. But I know a lot of you have Aldi. No toilet paper. Almost, well, I think there was 4-packs of toilet paper. No Kleenex. Or not very much. I didn't see it. And the space that normally has that stuff had these baskets, like great big, I don't know, they're kind of like woven rope baskets. My grandson has one with all of his soft toys in it. I'm just putting some white now in these windows. So, why am I saying that? Well, here, at least in the US, there's been these rumors of having some more supply chain issues because of a shortage of diesel fuel now. This could be just someone's imagination. I don't know. But I did find it pretty remarkable that today we did not have any of that in my store. Now, there are times that Aldi can be that way. They were for a long time when it came to coffee creamer. You couldn't get powdered coffee creamer, liquid coffee creamer, just none. But you could go across the street to Meijer and they had plenty. So, who knows? I don't know. This is just kind of looking not necessarily like windows yet. The round ones do, and the ones on the blue building do, but I don't know what's going on here. It kind of looks like a ladder, but that's okay. That's okay. A couple more. One more. And I think I'll just put a white thing right there. Okay. Now, let's move over to this green. And I'm going to give it some bigger windows. Oop, still a little damp. It's okay. Let's keep going. Oh, ducks. They're back. I don't know if you could hear them, but they're pretty loud. I like them. So we may just get this part of the acrylic done, and then in another video, we'll doodle in all the details, because I get a feeling this video is getting plenty long as it is. I'll see. Yeah, we'll get the windows in, and then we'll come back. And if I can do it later today, I will. Okay, let's get some more windows in here. Got to just think about it. Maybe some rectangle windows. these different paints, different companies, as I'm painting on top, they all feel a little different. And some of these are drying just as shiny as patent leather, and some of them are drying down just as matte as chalk. That's why when you're going to settle down and invest in a good canvas, and you're going to, maybe you've worked a composition out on in your art journal, and you're going to turn it into a canvas, I do recommend you get some good. Liquitex Basic is even okay, but if you can get yourself some Liquitex, and also, or Golden is a good company, and get some good heavy body acrylics, then you won't be having this 2 coats and some shiny, some dull, some dries fast, some dries slow, and I mean that these paints are doing exactly what I would expect them to do. So I'm not putting shade on them. It's just, if you're going to invest in time, canvas, you want to get a different kind of paint than this. But this is a perfect way to work in my acrylic journal. And every once in a while, I discover a paint that I like just fine. So there's that. Yeah, I like that better with the second coat on the yellow. The circle windows seem okay. The green is like bleeding up into, but I'm just going to let that dry a little bit. I'll see what the blue looks like if I do one more coat. Does it make a difference? Yeah, I think so. Of all the buildings, the blue building seems to be the driest. And because I'm trying to get as much done in a video as I can, I'm not letting things dry like I would if I was just doing this on my own. I would have walked away, unloaded the dishwasher, come back, and you can just put a piece of, with these paper plates, I just turn one upside down over the other one, and the paints will keep. But I want to have fun with you. People that are working today in a building without windows, does anyone do that anymore? Or are they all working from home? I think there's still people that are working in places that they don't have windows. They're going to be surprised. They're going to have to scrape their cars off, or at least brush them off. Yep. It is big, beautiful, fluffy flakes. I bet coming home tonight, traffic is going to have to be a little bit careful. I betcha. I'm going to see if I can get, no, maybe not. I was going to see if I could get some more on that bright green. I think I'm just going to let that rest a minute because I still have other buildings here to do. And maybe we can just move these aside for right now. And let's see about the magenta building. I'm going to put a big old window right here in the annex. Okay. And then I think I'm just going to put, like, this looks very wet up here. It is very wet up there. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to just put, maybe just big windows again. And maybe I don't even need a window that high. Could be the building mechanics up there. You know, heating and air conditioning and all that kind of stuff. Could be. You never know. Do you live in a city or a subdivision or a rural? I guess I live in the suburbs. But there's an awful lot right here by me, that's for sure. There's a lot of places that if I was a little more fit, I could definitely walk to. Not the grocery store. That's too far. We've got a good bus line, though, up and down the main drag because it connects people with downtown and it connects people with the colleges. So that's really, I love that. That's nice. Okay, let's see about this green building. And maybe just some long, narrow. I like going to big cities with skyscrapers. And I'd love to look at the skyscrapers and just kind of imagine what's going on inside there. You know, people working, people cooking, people babysitting children, maybe people going to school, everything. And some of those big, tall skyscrapers, they've got things like grocery stores right in them, convenience stores, all that. Yeah, okay. Last one. What'll it be? Let's see. This could be like a bank of windows. And when I come back and we put the details in, it could be like a lot of little windows. Do you know what I mean? Little panes. Yep. That would be, I think that will look fun. Bring this one out a little bit. What you gonna make for supper tonight? I've got all the ingredients to make chili. And I thought I might make some chili for myself tonight. Not sure. I'm not promising, but could. I guess when I was driving around in the snow, and as I said, I went to the dentist this morning and then went to the grocery after. Maybe I was just feeling the snow. Thought that I needed to make some chili. All right, I'm going to try to see if I can put another coat where this green just bled up into the white. I don't think so. Not yet. We'll try. Heidi Swap, you got some strong paint there. Put some drying agent in it. It stays wet too long. It's not oil paint. It's one of the things that I like about acrylics is that they do tend to dry fast. So while you're gone, I may touch up some of these windows again, but I won't put any of the details in till I see you. But as this crazy gel white dries, it's becoming more and more transparent. I would love to see their glossary of terms. What do they mean by opaque? but it is what it is. Okay, we know we can't do any more with the green. I think the blue is awfully wet still. This seems to work. Okay, now, you thought you were done with me, but no. I'm just going to make some little dot windows on some of these faraway buildings. Like that. Maybe put a little like that. Good. Here, maybe the magenta. Let's see. Like I said, I may do a little more of what you're seeing me do right now, but I won't add the little details that's going to make this really sing until I'm with you again, because I want you to be able to see that. That's the fun part. We're just doing the basic outlines right now, but when we come to putting in some details, that's the fun part. All right. Well, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do, because I'm new and you've stayed with me this long. So go ahead and subscribe. It's free. Ring the bell if you want notifications when I post a new video. I post about 3 videos a week. And I'm hoping that I get to see you in the next video where we're going to work on this some more. Bye.